side, you see. And we want to, that is why we are alerting people about the, the outbreak, for people to be aware and then take precautionary measures to prevent cholera happening in the system.
Though the AMA is already taking the necessary measures to address the current sanitation challenges, he says residents need to observe personal hygiene. We
should avoid buying food which are sold in unhygienic places. So as a people, we want to advise people to shun that. They should avoid patronizing such food. And we also want to tell the food vendors that they should not vend their food under unhygienic conditions. They should make sure that the food they prepare and sell to the public is safe for public, human consumption.
In the meantime, Dr. Boateng says the AMA will continue to enforce its bylaws to ensure homeowners provide toilet facilities.
AMA is not relenting in its efforts at all. AMA is aggressively pursuing people with that toilets in their house and prosecuting them. That we won't relent on it. We will make sure that every house in the city gets its own toilet.
Cholera is an acute diarrhea illness caused by a bacteria that can result in a profound and rapidly progressive dehydration, which could be fatal. Ingestion of water and food contaminated by infected human feces is the common means of acquiring the disease. The main symptoms are profuse, painless, watery diarrhea without fever and often with vomiting of clear fluid. Matilda Pomaga for Joy News.
Meanwhile, there's a looming cholera outbreak at TUNSOASE, a suburb of Techiman in the Brunahafo region, following the disposal of human excreta in the open just around the toilet facility that is full. Joy News' Nestor Kafuajoma, after visiting the site, says the stench from the toilet alone is killing the residents of the area.
This is the only toilet facility serving the people of TUNSOASE in Techiman. Residents say the facility is out of use and nothing has been done about it. Authorities have also refused to use the evacuation truck and resorted to the services of some young men in the area. Our cameras captured this man fetching the fecal matter with a bucket and dumping it on the floor. Interestingly, there are lots of schools and offices, including Presby cluster of schools and a legal aid office, who are finding it difficult to carry out their work because of the stench. Some of the students from Techiman Presby cluster of schools expressed their displeasure about the situation.
When we are in the classroom learning, and if it enters the classroom, we have to stop learning, and sometimes we have to close from school and go home. The authorities would put down the toilets and build it elsewhere.
Kwekuya Boy and Yawasante, who are residents of the area, bemoan the situation, saying it is very harmful to the people in the area.
School enrollment in the Sunafosa district of the Brunahafo region has increased steadily from 25,659 a year in 2010 to 30,710 in 2014. The Sunafosa District Director of Education, Osei Hayford, who announced this at the 2013-2014 Best Teacher Award ceremony, indicated the 40% increase is due to the introduction of some more classrooms. A report from Brunahafo region correspondent Nestor Kafuajoma.
Teachers Awards Day was introduced in Ghana by the Rawlings administration to recognize and reward hard-working teachers whose work have impacted the society. For the Asunafo South District, it has been 6 years. Osei Hayford noted that over 98% of schools in the district have good classrooms but lack enough furniture. Teacher population has also risen from 911 in 2010 to 1,301 in 2014. The district education director emphasized the increment has also been translated in improved academic performance by schools in the district.
I wish to, at this juncture, indicate that in 2010, the BEC result in the district was 38%. With the increase in the number of teachers and the collective efforts of all my staff, head teachers, circuit supervisors, all unitors, and the district assembly, the trend has changed for the better.
The Brong-Ahafo Regional Minister Eric Opoku maintained government is investing heavily in the provision of educational infrastructure in the Brong-Ahafo region, with a target of achieving 100% coverage in Asonafo South by the end of 2016.
It is gratifying to note that government continues to invest heavily in the provision of educational infrastructure across the region. It is therefore proper, while celebrating the day together, to dove our hearts and show respect and humility to the teacher whose sacrifices cannot be matched. We are indeed grateful to the Chalk fraternity, especially those who are serving in the most deprived communities in our country.
Eric Opoku further explained government is fully aware and working to fix numerous challenges confronting teachers, especially those in deprived communities. 31-year-old Gabriel Eje, who is the headmaster of Asonafo LHSHS, won the overall Best Teacher Award for 2013-2014 in the district.
The late Law Overlord of Nanung, Na and Dani Dasana, was interred Thursday at the Royal Museum in Bimbela in keeping with the tradition of the people of Nanung. A government delegation led by Deputy Northern Region Minister Alhaji Abi Fuseni handed over the body to the family head at the palace in Bimbela.
It was a sorrowful day as hundreds of sympathizers, including family members of Nanum, lined up the streets of Bimbela to pay their last respect to the late chief Na and Dani Dasana. Earlier in the day, Salati Zanaza prayers were offered to the soul of the chief. It is a special prayer offered to the soul of a practicing Muslim. Government delegation led by the Deputy Northern Regional Minister Alhaji Fuseni commended the family for not seeking vengeance and assured them of government's commitment to bring the perpetrators of the heinous crime to book.
Wants to be on record that Ghana is a country of law and order. It's a country of law and order. Impunity will not be accepted, especially when people want to make impunity a culture. To institute a culture of impunity where people can get up and do anything dastardly and think they will get away with it.
Head of the family of the late chief, Batihi Na Natugma, received the body and thanked government for the continuous assurance to bring the perpetrators to book. He also announced the funeral arrangement to be held on Sunday, June 29, while the late chief's regent is expected to be enskinned on Friday, July 4. The late overlord of Nanum was last week murdered alongside 4 others at his palace by some unidentified gunmen in uniform. Northern Regional Police has arrested 17 suspects in connection with the murder.
Now, the acute fuel shortage that has hit the country came to a head Friday. The one positive fallout of the problem you could point to would probably be the very noticeable reduction in traffic in the city as most cars without fuel were off the road. It, however, does not in any way make up for the massive negative social and economic impact. Without fuel, businesses who have to move products to markets or bring in raw materials or simply transact business have been unable to do so. Workers have not been able to get to work unless they are prepared to walk, and those suffering power outages have also been unable to fuel their generators. Parliament also had to adjourn because many MPs could not make it to the House to take part in proceedings. That's how bad the situation has been. It however appears there are few filling stations still selling fuel, even though the queues are extremely long. One such is the Unity Fuel Filling Station.
For for the past 3-4 days, we've been serving food to the general public. People come as far as Kaswa, Ebri, outside of Accra, and we have been serving them very well. And the customers can even testify of that.
And how does Unity Oil get its supply that has been able to keep or equip you till this time?
Actually, we got it from Tema. I think 3 days ago. We have competitors around, and since they were locked in town, they resorted to other places. But when the shortage came, because we had the stock down, they resorted coming back to us. That is the reason why we had some there.
Some agitator drivers said they had been waiting since midnight to fuel their vehicles.
I have been here since around 9 a.m. I've been here 9 a.m. struggling to look for a fuel. But then, before then, I was roaming about, going here and there. I went to Akuse, from Akuse, Dodowa, all the way to Taifa. On my way coming, I spotted another place around Adenta where there was this same struggling over there, but I noticed that there was no chance for me to even put myself into it. So I decided to come over.
It's very, very, very bad because I can't go to my work because of diesel. I just keep all my time here because I'm supposed to go to work.
Since 1 o'clock, yesterday, I went to Medina, Atomic Junction. They said someone in La Paz, we went there. They said Tantra, we went there. And here too, we have been here. People are struggling, people are suffering.
For most other stations though, pump attendants were idle as there was no fuel to sell.
Now, only one filling station of the 13 fuel filling stations in the Wa municipality of the Upper West region is selling fuel. The station, though, has only petrol. And as expected, there are long, winding queues of motorists. The station has also created an opportunity for the illegal sale of the petroleum product for people who are selling them in water containers and beer bottles.
The Wa municipality has 13 filling stations, and all but one had diesel, with the exception of Total, which is having petrol. The rest look more like filling stations that are still under construction, and with some attendants redundant, whilst others abandoned post. This has created a lot of pressure on Total One filling station. A number of these people blame the government for their inability to get to their workplaces on time. Most of them are frustrated at the fact that they had to comb the length and breadth of the Wa municipality in search of fuel to no avail. Apart from the motorists and drivers, some people also came with yellow gallons, popularly referred to as Kufuor gallons, in search of the commodity. For them, the shortage of fuel is time to make money. I bumped into one of them at the Gongomini T Junction, illegally selling them on tabletop with the full glare of the public, including the police. However, they have the backing of some motorists who think that it's the best way to survive. Rafiq Salam's report from Gwa.
The Legal Advocacy Foundation, a non-governmental organization campaigning for justice for the poor and vulnerable in society, is embarking on a campaign to educate Ghanaians about their rights. The Know Your Rights campaign, which will commence in the Ashanti region, according to the foundation, will be in collaboration with the Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice and the National Commission for Civic Education.
Legal Advocacy Foundation, founded by known legal analyst Maurice Ampao, says it has taken on 120 pro bono cases since its inception in 2010. The new campaign, according to him, is aimed at educating Ghanaians all over the country about their rights and responsibilities.
We believe that in order to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor is through education. And education is when you educate the ordinary Ghanaian of his or her fundamental human right, so that he becomes aware. And so once the person becomes aware of his fundamental human right, then they can defend it and protect it, even in poverty.
Maurice Ampao praised the NCC for revamping its activities. Following criticisms, it has become irrelevant.
In other news, the painful exit of the Black Stars from the ongoing FIFA World Cup in Brazil has got many apportioning blame and advancing all sorts of theories as to why the team failed to progress. The blame game started right at the end of the final group match against Portugal. Adelaide Arthur saw it all unravel at one of multi-TV's viewing centers for the World Cup and came through with this report.
I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
After the impressive draw with Germany, Ghanaian fans still had hope that the Black Stars would make it to the round of 16, even though they had a very slim chance. With only a point going into the game, the Black Stars needed not only to win, but win with enough goals and hope that Germany would do them a favor by beating the USA. However, as the match advanced, fans came to a painful realization that it wasn't going to be an easy feat. Not because Portugal were so impressive, but because the team did not have the same quality with which it played against Germany. After 45 minutes, many had started to lose hope, especially when defender John Boy, who had been lauded for his showmanship in previous games, mistakenly scored an own goal in the first half.
I must say I'm very much disappointed in the players and the tactical play of the Black Stars, because I think that the kind of confidence and the kind of energy that they played against the US in the first game and then in the second game against the Germans, that is not what we are seeing here. And I think that this is an outpouring performance from the Black Stars, and I think that I'm not expecting this from the Black Stars.
The 2-1 scoreline against Ghana after 90 minutes was very disappointing to fans, some of whom think the coach should not be let off easily.
Kwesi Appiah really disappointed me. Today's game example like this, you were playing Ajimambedu 3, a midfield, Kodwa Samoa 3, and you have the opportunity when Wakaso was not proving as good. You're supposed to change Wakaso and bring somebody like Inkum or Michael Essien 2, and Afoawesen will shift 3. And Kodwa Samoa will play 10. Kodwa Samoa can supply the players, the strikers, many balls they want. But you refuse. So Kwesi Appiah, in fact, John Mama supposed to at least to order some military men to ship him small, because he has wasted our time and break our heart.
Kwesi Appiah must be sacked, you know. It's not doing a great job. I mean, yeah. You know, 2 white men took us to, one took us to round of 16 and another one took us to quarterfinal. He should have done, break that record. He should have done, better than them, you know. So I think, and we have quality players. The boys are doing great. I don't know, he didn't use them properly, you know.
It's very hurting, very, very hurting. We got our possible chances, but we couldn't put it in place. The chances were there for us to roll on, but we couldn't make anything out of it.
Recent scandals and turbulence in the Stars camp in Brazil are also thought to have impacted on the players.
We all know what is happening in the Black Stars camp. As a result, Sule Muntari and Kevin Mugwati has been expelled from the camp. Psychologically, yes, I think it has affected them, and it has bring their morale down. Although their money has been given to them, about $100,000 that they were complaining about has been paid to them. But psychologically, in terms of the game itself, at the back of their mind, I think they think they've lost this and they are coming back home.
But the coach, Kwesi Appiah, disagrees. He insists the chaos in camp cannot be blamed for the team's poor performance.
Well, President John Mahama has called for investigations into Ghana's disastrous showing at the World Cup in Brazil, resulting in the first ever exits at the group stages. President Mahama told journalists at Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, Ghana football must look at the team again and do a post-mortem to see what went wrong and fix it.
All of us are heartbroken and we're out of the tournament. We had a lot of hopes for the Stars. The nation did its best. Everybody supported as best as they could, and the whole country was behind the Stars. Unfortunately, football takes a lot. It takes discipline, it takes hard work, it takes training, and then it also takes good luck. Luck was not on our side today. I urge the nation to take heart. Let's do do a post-mortem, see what went wrong, and see what we could have done better, and fix it. I guess when the FA comes, we need to set up a kind of committee to look at the whole system of what happened in Brazil 2014, right from the preparation through the build-up to the World Cup, to when they went to Brazil, to what happened in Brazil until they got back. We need to do a whole post-mortem, and based on that post-mortem, we would be led to make some corrections of things that went wrong and rebuild the team so that Ghana continues to command the respect that it does in world football.
George Addo Jr. will come up next with more sports. Stay tuned.
We begin sports talking about what's happening in the World Cup, and it looks like, well, the African teams are not learning from what happened in Ghana. An issue with Nigeria over bonuses, and Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan has assured the country's senior players at the World Cup that the squad will be paid their bonus money. Super Eagles.
Players from the reigning...
Time now for some business reports. My name is Abigail Adomakuenchi. Now, Moody's Investors Service downgraded Ghana's sovereign rating to B2 from B1, citing the country's rising debt burden and deteriorating debt affordability. The rating agency in a statement said it expects public debt to exceed 65% of GDP by the end of 2015 from 55.7% in 2013, mirrored by rising interest rate expenses relative to government revenues. Moody's changed Ghana's foreign currency bond ceiling to BA3 from BA2 and the foreign currency deposit ceiling to B3 from B2. The rating services maintain its negative outlook on the rating. The latest downgrade comes as government prepares to return onto the international money market to borrow some more. Analysts believe it would make any fresh borrowing more expensive. Now to some other stories. Some financial institutions are already counting their losses following GUTA's 4-day strike. Union Savings and Loans, one of such institutions, lost more than 60% of their deposits, according to the company's managing director, Philip Otimensa. He, however, wants government to dialogue more with GUTA to avert such occurrences going forward.
Although GUTA has called off their strike, the few days they stayed off work had a toll on the operations of some financial institutions, especially those that deal with SMEs.
We know that SMEs in numbers contribute about 90% to total registered businesses in Ghana. And in terms of volume contribution to our GDP, it's about 45%. So this already gives you an idea what this means if these businesses should be closing down. I did my own calculation, and this translates into about 120 million value created a day in these markets, in these businesses. So it is no joke. For an institution like us, more than 60% of our business is with SMEs. It means that 60% of our business came to a halt. But more specifically, you know that we also give out loans. And therefore, if businesses are not running, then clients are simply not able to pay their installments. And this goes a long way to affect us.
For the managing director of Union Savings and Loans, although the traders had the right to demand for better economic conditions, dialoguing would have been a better option.
On one hand, GUTA is saying that they feel the Nigerian traders, the foreign traders, are being allowed to trade because government is allowing them to do so. And on the other hand, government is saying, well, we've tried our best and it's still not working. So the best way to go about it is to work together. Because I believe members of GUTA know the foreign traders more than government does. Talking to my clients, I know that the effort has not been strong enough. That's what I can say. And that if we really want to stop this, there has to be a stronger effort from both sides.
Touching on the new 17.5% VAT on financial services, he also explained that although deposits will be affected, institutions should educate their clients.
Tax is an obligation, and as long as tax is backed by law, I'm not the one to say whether it should be charged or not. So that's the starting point. If it's backed by law, then it has to be charged. For me as a businessman, I want to look at how best to survive, and how best to convince my clients that I'm the best business partner. So in this situation, I believe that what financial institutions should be doing is to be looking at, how best to cushion the clients so that they feel comfortable doing business with us. Because if you can show that you will not let them take all the hit, then you can increase your business and in the long term become more profitable.
Philip Otimensa was positive the revenues accrued from the new VAT will be beneficial to the country only if they are channeled into developmental projects. We'll still stay with GUTA, and they're saying that they will not hesitate to strike again if government fails to address their concerns as they have promised to do so. GUTA decided to call off their strike after a meeting with the Minister of Trade and Industry on Thursday, June 26. All shops are now open to business after closing down for about 4 days following the directive from GUTA.
The president will do something about it. We know, we are sure about it, because our leaders has given us, they have given an assurance that the president want to do something about it. If there's something they didn't do anything about it, we will just, our leaders will, we will just listen to our leaders. Whether if they want us to close it, we will close it. If they want us to continue doing market, we will just do it.
We opened the shop because we sent our application to the government, but it didn't matter us. And nowadays the dollar too is still increasing. At the same time, our business is collapsing. So we want him to reduce this thing for us. At the same time, too, if you go to Dubai and you are coming back, at the same time, the tax that we pay and the increment of the phone's price is too much. So normally you suffer a lot. So we want you to reduce the price for us so that you can sell.
But how sure are you that government is going to listen to you? I mean, now your shops are open.
Minister, the government, you will not listen to us because you already closed first, and you do demonstration about it. But later, he didn't mark us. So we are still praying that maybe he can do something about it.
But now that you're working, what do you expect? You think that
you're supposed to open because you can't close it to maybe 3 or 4 days. You don't have anything to shop, you don't have anything to do, so you have to open it.
But you are still expecting that?
Yeah, we are still expecting him because he's our leader of the country, so he will do something for us.
You say you're Kelly, yes?
Kelly Chebediakon.
Thank you. After meeting with the Trade Minister Thursday, June 26, GUTA believes government is ready to ease their frustrations. They will, however, not hesitate to close down their businesses if government does not act immediately as promised.
What came out from the ministers was that when our grievances were heard, we linked the issue of the depreciation of the cedi to that of the foreign influx, because there has been on several occasions where when the cedi depreciates, government officials and even the entire Ghanaians want to put the blame at the doorsteps of the Ghanaian importers. But we are this time around saying that it is not the Ghanaian importers who are causing this depreciation of the cedi. But we are saying it's the foreigners, because the quantum of imports that to us they export, because they bring in the goods here is an export. And by export, what one has to say is that they just want to come and take our monies just to go and balance their trade deficits. He said emphatically that it is not negotiable for any foreigner to, as it were, be in that retail sector. Again, those Ghanaians who are fronting for these foreigners will also be equally liable for that offense. And again, he also said that those landlords who are renting their shops to foreigners are also equally liable. But as soon as you are caught condoling or condoning with somebody, the two of you are liable for those offenses. So with this situation, it's better for you to fight and die than to stay in this world. So we are very serious about whatever we are doing. We are monitoring the situation. At any point in time, if we hear or if we see that things are not going well the way we want it to go, we will still come out with a statement.
Away from GUTA issues, Cocoa Board has begun engaging foreign investors to aid its plan to raise $1.8 billion to finance cocoa production in the upcoming season. The roadshow would see management engage investors in London after meetings on banks in Europe and America earlier this year. Now to some fuel stories. Again, a number of passengers traveling to the Ashanti regional capital Kumasi from the VIP bus terminal here in Accra have been stranded all day, with many attributing it to the fuel shortage in the country. Some, though, are said to have resorted to paying extra to reserve seats on the few buses that are available, leading to some confrontations.
A number of the passengers at the bus terminal were left puzzled as there were no buses to take them to their destinations. Under the mercy of the sun, a lot of them waited in anticipation that news will come from the managers of the terminal about when a bus will arrive. When desperation set in, some resorted to innovative means of avoiding the long winding queues. Most of the stranded passengers paid extra to some men who claimed they could get them reserved seats in most of the buses.
I've been here since 11. It's getting to 4 o'clock. I just got a ticket. It's very, very bad.
People are jumping the queues. Others too, they are saying because of the fuel, we can't get a bus, so the bus are not coming.
Some of the passengers were unhappy at the long silence of managers of the bus terminal. They indicated the acute fuel shortage could be the reason for the long hold-up at the bus terminal.
Since we came here, nothing of that sort from the management. Let's say you keep waiting, the buses are coming on that stuff, but nothing of that sort have been. So we are just trying our best, struggle to get the ticket here. Nothing from the management.
Esiedu Mensah, a road safety officer at the VIP station, was quick to rubbish that when we approached him. He rather blamed the situation on the poor condition of some portions of the Kumasi-Accra road.
Well, government is said to have released a strategic reserve to remedy the dire fuel shortage in some parts of the country. Information Minister Mahama Ayariga said President Mahama Friday morning directed that the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Bus Company Limited discharges fuel in its facilities dotted across the country to ease the pressure. He said fuel stations across the country should soon receive supply of fuel. Meanwhile, the police say they have discovered black market dealings in fuel, prompting the IGP to direct district commanders to conduct surprise visitation to fuel stations. And that'll be all for business. I'm Abigail Adumakwenchi. Showbiz is up next.